Okay, fuck introductions. I'm just gonna yell about Dragon Ball Super for a bit for a second, alright? Um, this may or may not go up on YouTube. This may just be a venting session for me to listen to and see how I sound when I'm really angry. So, I just watched episode 93, I think it was, of Dragon Ball Super on Crunchyroll. It made me slightly upset, just a tad bit. Um, that is since you might not be able to tell, a bit of sarcasm, a bit of understatement, because it made me really mad. Okay, so my main gripe with this episode and even the last episode is whatever her name is. I don't know what her name is. I'm just gonna call her bitch because she makes me upset. The spiky haired bitch. Not well, both of them. Both of them. Kale and the spiky haired bitch. They both make me upset. Not because they're female Saiyans that can turn Super Saiyan. I don't give a shit about that. That does not matter to me. The the problem is that they are Super Saiyans. Now, you might say, Guy, you just said that the problem isn't that they're females that can turn Super Saiyans. No, the problem is they could be males. They could be males and they could turn Super Saiyan in this situation, and I would still be as upset. My problem is they just turned Super Saiyan. Not like not they recently turned Super Saiyan. They just turned Super Saiyan without anything. Like Kaba goes up to them and says, "Hey, I can show you this cool little trick. Hey, like you know how like your back sort of itches sometimes? Yeah, if you like feel that feeling for a second and like put energy in that, you can turn Super Saiyan." And she's like, "Cool beans, I'm gonna try it." And then she does it in 5 fucking seconds. 5 seconds. This lady just why? And you might say, why is this an issue? She's powerful enough. I don't give a shit if she's powerful enough. Gohan was powerful enough. Goku was powerful enough. Vegeta was powerful enough. Trunks was powerful enough. But they didn't just turn Super Saiyan. They didn't just do it. Even like Gohan and Vegeta had people, new people, who could turn Super Saiyan. They understood the form exists. But the form back then, at least, wasn't simply about having power. It was about the emotion that Super Saiyan evoked. And that's my main problem here. These two bitches just completely shit on the concept of Super Saiyan taking hard work, Super Saiyan taking anything. I mean, Trunks got to Super Saiyan a couple of times. Gohan got on the like precipice of Super Saiyan a couple of times before they actually went. That's because they were powerful enough, but they didn't have that push to go past the emotional barrier like Goku did with Krillin, like Trunks did with Gohan, like Gohan did with almost getting fucking murdered by his father, like future Gohan did by seeing everyone he knew and loved get murdered by the androids, like Vegeta did by almost getting murdered by himself. But the problem, again, like I said, is that the girls don't have any of this shit. They just do it. Hell, I think Kale might be worse. I don't. I've not concluded on whether or not the spiky-haired bitch or Kale is worse in this situation. I mean, the spiky-haired bitch just doesn't. And like, I guess they make the excuse that she's a prodigy, but so was Goku, Goten, Gohan. Yeah, they were all prodigies, and they didn't just do it. And you can even make the argument that the original Broly was just a maniac, but that's a movie character, and I'm not even counting that. And the Kale bitch, Kava, Kava half-assedly insults her. He just like says, "Hey, you're a loser. You're pathetic. You suck." Like a jackass. I mean, Vegeta like, all right, forget it. I'll go to this later. But Kale, like, she's just She is really broken up. She is really broken up by those insults. She's really broken up by um I don't know. Like was she jealous of like I'm not exactly sure. I'm sorry. I felt like I was half-assedly watching the episode and maybe like the guys maybe they like explain the situation like between like a love is there a love triangle there? Like d does she like Kaba but then like she keeps Kaba keeps talking to spiky haired bitch and maybe that's why like she gets so upset, but I'm not sure. It doesn't matter. It's still dumb. She still just goes Super Saiyan. She just like starts crying super hard and just like goes Broly level of Super Saiyan. Like she turns into a legendary Super Saiyan from crying. And I understand Broly's original transformation was nothing to be like amazed at, I guess. Or it wasn't like super emotional either, I guess. But again, my argument for that is, well, no. It is still dumb. I'd say that was still dumb. It was already established that Broly was a maniac. This lady has not been established as a maniac. This lady has been established as a weird girl, and that's about it. Not as a maniac like Broly. And she just turns legendary Super Saiyan. And my problem with these two, I had a problem with Kaba. When he had first transformed, I had a problem with him. I didn't like that. I didn't like the fact that he just did it in like a couple of seconds. But at least in my mind, I rationalized, all right, maybe he was A, already that powerful, B, getting his ass beat by Vegeta, and C, believing that like Vegeta would like go and destroy his family, and like he was just like such an honorable person that he could not let that happen, and like he just like lost it and like had to find a way to defeat Vegeta and like unlock this hidden potential in himself. And maybe that's how he did it. And I came to that conclusion, and that was the logical conclusion back then. But this is not like that. This is half-assedly turning people Super Saiyan. Okay? Like, hell, even if like you had Kaba like even if you had Kaba start sparring with spiky haired bitch, again, I'm not gonna call her by her name because that's what she is. Um, even if you had Kaba and spiky haired bitch like spar and like Kaba was in Super Saiyan and like she gets really mad at like Kaba like not as at Kaba for like not being as strong as he is in this form and like that's bullshit. Like what I should be stronger than you because like that's who I am. And I'm like I am stronger than you. So why the fuck is this cheap ass form not letting me beat your ass? Like if she had done that and turned Super Saiyan, I would still be upset. I'd be less upset. No, I would have less of a problem with that because there's actual emotional reason for her doing it. There's actual like even Vegeta like he's fucking I'm a fucking weak ass I'm fucking weak as shit man and like I can never do this kind of like breakdown on that planet. Like you could sort of relate it to that and like maybe have a moment mimicking that. Like that would actually have been kind of cool. I would not be mad at all. Like if you had mimicked like him looking at her looking at her hand, like seeing her bleed, and she's like, "What the fuck? I should not be bleeding." And then this weak chump and like just turn Super Saiyan out of just like raw anger. That would have been cool. But that's not what they did. They got lazy. That's pretty much what Dragon Ball Super has just been doing the entire time, isn't it? They've just been lazy with like most of the things they've done. Like, I mean, with their own stories at least, they half-assedly do almost everything they do. Like, they come up with these ideas and then half-assedly implement them instead of like actually devoting time and effort and thought into implementing them into a story. Well, like you could have all this fan service bullshit, which is what like all of their original content has been. Even like I guess even you could say to an extent, the Resurrection of F was, but most of the content from like this arc and the last arc, which was utter garbage, um, could be seen as fan service with some actual interesting ideas there. Like Zamasu is like a fallen Supreme Kai, I guess, or like a corrupted Supreme Kai. Like all these ideas that are actually kind of cool get like just half-assedly implemented. So like you want a female Super Saiyan and you want to implement one. How would we do that? How would we tell that story? Here's the thing. How about we not fucking tell that story and just have her turn Super Saiyan in like this one episode? And I'm only mad because it's disappointing and we're fucking getting deprived of actual cool scenes with actual cool moments with actual memorable new characters. That and you're devaluing the original value or the original emotions that came with the other Super Saiyans. She are a Super Saiyan 2 in this episode, like out of nowhere. And like you wouldn't like you could even question in your mind, like, is that Super Saiyan 2? But like they make sure at a point like you notice, yeah, that's Super Saiyan 2. Which also kind of shits on Gohan's scene of like super emotionally turning Super Saiyan 2. Like he had to watch his whole friends get beat up and watch like an innocent-ish robot get murdered just because he couldn't do this. Like, but yeah, I think that's about my whole point. Just these these two have really just shot on the whole concept of Super Saiyan, all the emotional weight that's come with it, all the um all the amazing scenes that have come with it. And I wouldn't really blame it on them. And I won't really blame it on like having them here, having like actual female Super Saiyans exist. That's not a bad idea in themselves. But the execution of this is a theme that of like most of Dragon Ball Super. The idea isn't bad, but the execution of the idea is god fucking awful.